Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Sold Sign Real Estate Unplugged. We are your host and favorite realtors, Naya
and Lauren.
And we are excited to be back with you all another week, another episode. Let's get started.
So, I remember working with a buyer who was beyond frustrated with the housing market. They had been looking for months, making offers on multiple homes, only to lose out every single time. It started off exciting. They were pre-approved, had a solid budget, and were ready to find their dream home. But after getting outbid on 5 different properties, the excitement turned into exhaustion. One home in particular hit hard. It was perfect, great location, newly updated, and within their budget. They submitted a strong offer, slightly above asking price, but then came the dreaded news. There were 15 other offers. The winning bid was way over asking, all cash with no contingencies. My client was crushed. How are we supposed to compete with this? They asked. After that, I can see the fatigue setting in. They started second guessing whether they should even keep looking. Every time a new listing popped up, instead of excitement, they felt dread. What's the point of even trying, they said. I knew we needed to take a step back and reassess. Instead of rushing into every bidding war, we adjusted our strategy. We started looking at homes that had been on the market a little longer, ones that might be overlooked just because they needed minor repairs. We also got more aggressive with offers, shortened inspection periods, increased earnest money, and worked closely with the lender to ensure a fast close. Finally, after months of trying, they found a home that checked almost all of their boxes. It wasn't the original dream home, but it had great potential. This time, they won the bid without having to go insanely over budget. When they finally got the keys, they told me, "I'm just relieved it's over." This is so true.
I'm gonna say amen.
Right. That is a thing, y'all. Like, if you're not going new construction just because that's like very, easy, you most likely may be in this situation. I tell buyers all the time, when you love a home, so do a bunch of other people.
Yes.
And, it's a lot of buyers out here and not a lot of inventory, especially where we are in the DMV. It's just not a lot of inventory at all.
And I think a lot of people are like falling into the same like price range of home.
Oh my gosh.
Because of like the stage of life and like age. A lot of people also in that stage of life or age or, combining 2 incomes are like looking at the same price range of homes. So yeah.
That is so true.
Yeah, I think that just adds to the fuel.
What do you think like that price range is? Like, what do you think in this area? What do you think the hot spot price range is?
Right. That's a good one. Dang.
I know.
I mean, obviously it varies, but like for like a 2 income like couple, you think?
Yeah, let's say
or
2 income couple, first time home buyer. Let's start there.
Ooh, a 2 income couple, first time home buyer. I would say they're at like 425, 450, and like, a little upwards, depending on how much they want to like, how far they want to go. But like definitely they're starting at like the 425 and up.
Yep.
Everybody's right there.
They are all in that.
They're all like 4 to 5.
They are that 4 to 5.
Ooh, that's such a. I'm not gonna say it's a scary place to be, but yeah, it's the sweet spot.
Yeah.
That's the perfect word. It's not a scary place.
Yeah, that is where everyone.
It's the sweet spot. That's where like everybody is falling. So.
It's a comfortable monthly budget.
Exactly.
I mean, once you do your numbers, that's where a lot of people want to be comfortably. A lot of people are coming from either like apartments. They may be coming from like the city, again, where we are. They may be coming from Baltimore City. They need more space. They're a growing family. So they come into the counties and they're looking for homes that are, nailed it. 4 to 500.
And it's probably going to be, a townhome style. So yeah, that's like, it's on everybody's radar, but don't fret.
Yeah.
I love I love that they switched up the strategy a little bit. I love the idea of going back and looking at homes that have been sitting for a little bit and are starting to get overlooked by what's coming on the market that's new and fresh. Yeah, everybody is jumping ahead to look at that. So that's always such a good thing to kind of like dial back and see what you browsed before but forgot about because something else hot hit the market. And you have probably you have less eyes looking at it because again they're looking at what came out 2 days ago versus what's now there for 30 days, even 2 weeks sometimes, they're past that one too. So it's been on the market longer and you can probably negotiate more because it's been on the market longer. It doesn't have that many eyes on it anymore. They're probably getting less showings. So don't be afraid to dial back, to circle back.
That's a great realtor.
Yeah.
For them to do it that way, like that's what you want. That's what you're looking for. You're not looking for a realtor that's just going to say, hey, yes, let's go for every new house that comes on the market. Again, we do work for you, so we are going to listen to you, but at some point we gotta kind of get y'all into a reality check. And sometimes we don't even have to do that. The market will do it for you.
Okay.
And you as buyers sometimes do have to lose out on a home or two. Unfortunately, if you get to that, unfortunately, sometimes have to lose out on a home or two to even understand what we mean when we say, hey, we should, like Naya said, go back and look at some homes that may not be on the market, or we're telling you that these are the things that you have to do. Less contingencies. You got to come in higher. Where I hear it all the time. Buyers are like, no, like this is what they listed it for. Then this is what we're going to offer. There's no point of why we can offer like a little less. Why don't? Sometimes we're like, okay, let's see how that works out for you. And now we realize like, oh, they lost out on 5 homes. After the second one, we are reassessing.
Yes, we are.
Okay, because 5 homes
that's a lot.
It is a lot. It is,
and
a lot.
It does get, it can be discouraging.
It can.
So we have to be in communication and strategize, especially in the spring and summer seasons. We talked about that.
Yep. Okay. If you didn't know, go back to some of our previous episodes. Okay, we have discussed this.
So yeah.
Go ahead. No. I was just like, that's a very real thing that happens out here, and don't get discouraged. Like, you got a good realtor, you have a good partner, like you have a good support system. Listen to what your realtor and the market is telling you. Again, if you love the home that just hit the market, 10 other people love it too. And you also have to realize, right? If you know that on one of these homes, 15 offers came in, only one person got that home. 14 other people are now going to be looking at the next home that you're looking at.
Yep.
Because again, y'all all in that price range, that 400 to 500,000 price range. You're looking in a certain county. Once a house pops up again, those 14 people, they are now shifting to this next house. So what do you think is going to happen on the next one? They also are probably reassessing with their realtor, and they're like, okay, we need to shift some things up. So don't think that the person who ended up getting that last house that had 15 offers, that probably wasn't the first offer or the first house that they submitted an offer on.
Right.
They probably lost out on a few, had to go back and reassess. And now look, they came in no contingencies, all cash. They came ready to go.
Right.
So you really gotta, you gotta figure out like, okay, is this really my dream home? If it is, then you gotta really, you gonna have to put up. You really are.
And sometimes I just like the dream home. It's like, okay. I'm trying to find it.
Yeah. Nope.
Because the dream home, I feel like there are dream homes for different stages and seasons of your life. So if we're talking about your first home, maybe you're combining households with a partner, right? So y'all got 2 incomes. You're combining households with a partner. Y'all looking for a townhome together in that sweet spot range that we talked about. Like, I think you have to know with any first home, especially when it's a spicy market, you may not get every single thing on your checklist of like what equates to that dream home for you. There has to be something that you're willing to let go of or compromise on, especially when it comes to things like cosmetic features. Like, you can go, those gold knobs that you saw in that kitchen, You can go put that on the house that you get yourself. You can figure out the color of the cabinets later. So sometimes you have to let go of, like, I think some of the aesthetic ideas of a dream home, and remember, like, the big, more important things: the location, the price range, maybe your commute to work, even number of bedrooms. Do y'all have the layout? Is the layout what you need because y'all entertain or host a lot? Like, those things will probably be more important than, oh my gosh, the countertops or the color of the cabinet knobs. You get what I'm trying to say. So I think don't be so fixated on every single thing that you also, like, again, overlook the potential and the way that you can wiggle and be creative to get a really good home and still make it have all those dream features that you want in time in that home because you got the home, versus, like, you keep missing on homes that had these dream home qualities, and now you still have no home when you could have had that home and made it look like the dream home that you wanted, or that you were looking at. And, like, if it's your first home, remember, there's probably going to be another home. And so just focus on getting the home and then do what you can and want in the home versus not getting the home
at all
and not getting the home and still not having the cabinets. So if you miss out on that home and you don't have the cabinets and the gold knobs, what's the difference? What's the difference? Because now there's no home and still no cabinets and knobs
to do anything
with.
That is such a good point.
So
thank you for keeping it real with them, because that is such a good point.
Sometimes we have to just remember the bigger picture. And if you're gonna be stuck on one thing and it being the dream home, you just might miss out on having the home, period. Like, you can make it your dream home, probably.
You can. And if you love all the, like Naya was saying, like, you love all the qualities, like, when it comes
those
to, like,
finishes,
those cabinets, those finishes, just take a picture, take a video, and then go and create that in your home that doesn't have it. You probably can get the home for cheaper, and you have the money to go ahead and update it the way that you want.
And if you listened to a previous episode, we told y'all how to use the FHA 203K, and you can get that whole new. You could take that picture of that kitchen, and you can replicate it in the home that just needed a little freshen up.
Right.
And you can roll it into your mortgage, and you could be sitting back, put your feet up, and all those other 14 buyers, they still sweating outside trying to race to the door. Y'all
and paying double, okay? Paying double the amount. Can't get an can't get anything. Paying double the amount because they just want that dream home.
Y'all better go get y'all.
Stop. Go get you the home, okay? They are playing. They are very much playing. No, I love that. That is such a great. I love that point. Go get y'all cabinets, okay? And that is such a good point. I love that.
Oh my gosh, I will bring you the knobs. Just go get the house.
Okay?
Like,
we will have that in our closing gift. Okay, we will get you the knobs. Don't worry. Or a Home Depot gift card or something. All right, don't worry about that. Dang.
You can get the home, y'all. So yes.
So another way.
Took us all the way on a tangent.
That was like exactly what I feel like was needed to hear for all of us, for everybody. We all need to hear that. So, like Naya said, looking beyond the hot homes that everybody's out there looking at. Another way to kind of get rid of that buyer fatigue and kind of the bidding war to get y'all out there is to find different ways to strengthen your offer. So if it's not just pricing, contingencies mean pretty much like you can get out of the house, that those include getting an inspection, an appraisal. If your home is in an HOA or a condo association, you can review those documents and you can still get out of the home. So if you submit an offer and it's over asking price, but you get rid of all the contingencies, meaning like you can get an inspection, but it's just for your knowledge. Like you're not going to get out of the house or ask the sellers to fix anything. You can do that. So you can still get an inspection, or better yet, what we do in hot homes.
Yes.
Go ahead, tell them.
Better yet,
tell them.
Y'all need to do a walk and talk.
Hello. While we there, when we go for the showing, we're going to bring the inspector with us and they're going to do a walk and talk. We normally have the showings for 45 minutes. The inspector will come with us. They will do a walk and talk. That way, you already did the inspection. You don't have to even put that in the offer. And sellers love that in a hot market. They really do. A very quick closing. If you're using financing, whatever financing you're using, meaning you're not using cash, then you can put in for a quick close. Ask your lender, how quickly can we close on a home? Usually, I like a max of 30 days. So anything less than that to me is a quick close. So if we can do 20, that would be ideal. They want to get sellers want to close really quickly on their house. So contingencies, getting rid of those, a quick closing, a higher earnest money deposit. So earnest money deposit is pretty much like a good faith deposit, letting the sellers know that you as the buyer can afford this house. So let's say usually it's 1%. So if the house is $500,000, you're normally putting down $5,000. If you want to put a higher earnest money deposit back and it's non-refundable, right? Because you have let go of all your contingencies. So you are not getting that money back. So if you're putting down a higher earnest money deposit, you will obviously. So the earnest money only goes into effect if you get the house, like if the house is accepted. So don't think you're going to just give them $10,000 and you're not getting that money back. That only happens if and when your offer gets accepted. So if you decide to put $10,000 and you double your earnest money deposit, that pretty much shows the seller like, okay, they really want this.
Serious.
Yeah, if we accept it, they don't get that $10,000 back, and they got rid of all of their contingencies. Now, when I say you don't get that $10,000 back, that means that you can't walk away from the house and they refund you that. That $10,000 will still go towards the closing. So if you owe $50,000 at closing, it's just a random number. If you owe $50,000 at closing, that $10,000 will be part of that. So let's say you now just have to bring $40,000 to closing. Just some random number. You don't have to bring that much money to closing, I promise. It's the first number that came to my head. But yeah, those are like some strategic ways. Am I missing some? I'm sure I am.
No, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, any of the contingencies.
Yeah. Transfer taxes. You can agree to pay for the sellers all of their transfer and recordation taxes. You can do that as well.
And the lender can tell you how much those will be.
Yep. Yeah. So you can do that. We missed the big one. What? You want to talk about it?
What's the big one?
A rent back.
Oh, yes. We talked about that. Yes.
If they need it.
Yeah. Oh, always. If they need a rent back, which means y'all will allow the sellers to remain in the home after you have closed the home and you become the owner. They're going to rent it back from you as like a renter because you now own it. If they need extra time in the home before they move to their next place, or before they get all the way out, they might be transitioning to something else that they need a little bit more time. So if you're able to give them that little bit more time, maybe you still have a lease on your rental, or you're on a month to month, so you can just be a little flexible. If you're able to offer a rent back when a seller needs a rent back, that's like, if they need it, they're asking for it. And especially like, they put it in the description, like the listing agent is reminding you that they need a rent back. And you can give it to them, that's automatically moving you to the top of the list if you're able to be flexible, because they need that. So if they need it and you can give it, you need to do that.
Yeah. Give it to them. And then if you can give it to them free.
For free.
You can give it to them with
the language without
nominal consideration.
Nominal consideration.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you could do nominal consideration
for free,
you already at the top of the list there, but you can go above.
You done flew to number one.
What? Y'all, we telling you, these are ways. And hate to say this, but some of your financing does matter. Like sellers do like to see a conventional
And why
offer.
would that be?
Because conventional financing, they don't really have strict guidelines. So if you're not getting an inspection, you don't have to. And the conventional financing, they don't come in and say, oh, you have to fix these things. Where FHA and VA, you would have to get an inspection or have to get an appraisal as well. And they will come back and say, hey, you have to get this fixed before you even move forward with the offer. And it's like, seller doesn't really want to have to deal with that, especially if they have other offers that come in that are either cash and conventional, and they don't have to worry about anything. So your financing does matter in certain situations. VA tends to get to the bottom of the pile, unfortunately, then FHA, conventionals at the top, and then cash. So it just depends. But if you got to get realtor, they can sometimes you can talk them into it. Like, come on. So I think those are great ways to kind of get rid of your buyer fatigue and take a break. If you need to step away for a second, step away for a week.
I was about to say now. We don't mean the whole buying season.
Yeah, no. Take a break. Yeah, go. Especially if you're like, oh, but we have plans this weekend anyway. Good. We're going to take the whole week. We're going to just reassess, and we're going to come back very refreshed, and we're going to get back out there, and we're going to figure out what we're going to do next. But yeah, take a break. Walk away for a second. That also would help, because you keep looking at houses.
Put that search portal down.
Yeah, just put it down for a second. Put it down for a few days. Nothing wrong with that. And then we can definitely, on the realtor side, be educating our buyers early in the process. When we have our consultations, we're letting you know, okay, listen, you ready to buy now? Great. We are in crazy market. We're in a crazy season. You're in a sweet spot when it comes to your price point and your location. You may not believe us when we're telling you this. You may just think we're realtors. That's what we're supposed to do. But when you get out there, you're going to see that, I swear to God, we're not blowing smoke. We're just saying, this is what it is. This is what we're seeing. We're going to be with you every step of the way. So for realtors, educate them immediately when y'all first meet. Like, let that be one of the first things you talk about, especially if you're in that kind of market.
Yeah, and in this season, like, you'll notice that it's busy when y'all start seeing homes. Like, open houses will be busier. You might be going to view a house and you might see somebody leaving. Like, you'll sense that, like, the market is busier now. So, breathe through it, communicate, and trust your realtor, and think about all the strategies we shared today, and like, you'll be prepared to think ahead and be ahead in the game.
Yes, I love that.
So thank you for joining us for another episode. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe here on YouTube if you're watching us here, and you can listen to us on any podcast stream that you like. Thank you for liking and sharing our content. Remember to follow us on Instagram and TikTok as well, and we'll see you next week.